I don't think I've lost a dog or anything on the side of the freeway.
I haven't either.
And welcome to the Down Front Podcast. How's it going, guys?
Woo!
Yay! Super excited. We're pretty pumped. I hope you're pumped as well. We are talking about a classic. I would say the fifth.
Hell is for test time.
We're not doing Beauty and the Beast, I'm sorry. We wish we were, but we are talking about Transformers number 5, The Last Night, that features Mark Wahlberg. Truthfully, a bunch of other people that nobody seems to care about in this movie. But before we get into
at its best.
Exactly. Before we get into the actual feature film, I'm interested to see. Hey, Bradley, what you sipping on? What you been watching?
I am sipping on cool, refreshing H2O to get hydrated again after a long weekend of celebrating America's birthday. So, and what I've been watching is I went out and saw Cars 3. It's the first Pixar film that I saw in the theaters ever since Monsters, Inc., which may surprise people.
Upsets me.
Yeah, and I would say my big win for it is Pixar's technology seems to get better and better every single movie they go out and make. And, like, there's moments in this movie where it kind of treads that uncanny valley of, has the CG gotten so good that it looks almost realistic? And I would say the big loss for this is the plot is very generic compared to other Pixar films. And it does something that it lacks what a lot of Pixar films have, which is it definitely helps open up an audience's eyes to a certain perspective or culture behind it, where with Cars films, you have this incredible chance to kind of like get people more interested in car culture and racing culture, and it really never goes into that at all. So if I was going to give it a grade, I would give it a C.
Well, okay. I mean, a bit low, but that's all right. I know you haven't seen the other two, so hopefully you have a chance to go and watch those two.
Well, I'd say one thing about this movie is I felt like I didn't need to see the other two to understand the characters. They're pretty straightforward characters. So.
Number 1 was really good, though. So I would say that one for Cars 1.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, of course, and as always, thanks for having you on. I'm always interested to kind of seeing your beautiful face, my friend.
Thank you. Good to see you, too.
I have the Shredder in the building, Mr. Mike. How's it going, Mike?
Wow. What's happening, dudes?
Just hanging out.
It's nice to be here.
Oh, good.
For maybe the second time?
Nah, not at all.
We might do it a third if we're really lucky.
Please, no.
Yeah, so I right now I'm sitting here drinking this El Gose. It's one of those. Multiple choice question right there. Really solid. Honestly, it wasn't expecting this. It has lime and sea salt in beer, and usually I'm staunchly against that, but this does it. It's pretty solid. I've seen 2 movies as of late. The first one was It Comes at Night, which I thought was overhyped as a horror movie. I think that the advertisements made it seem like it was going to be like kind of a post-apocalyptic scary movie, and it really wasn't. It was like this weird little character film that I think would have been great as like a 30 to 45 minute long like cons piece. I don't think they had enough source material to get it out to an hour and a half to 2 hours. I could also see, on the other side, I could see where the director was going. It definitely was a unique little niche film. It told a story without really offering any sort of explanation, and it kind of was like completely nihilist, why does this matter, throughout the whole thing. So if you're looking for that type of film, this movie will absolutely be perfect for you. I wasn't, so it wasn't, you know. I probably wouldn't see it again if it came on television. A movie that I would see again, though.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. Is a movie called Deathgasm, and it is the tale of two teenage metalheads that find the ancient scripts to this like demon summoning death metal track, and of course the first thing they do is take it for band practice and play the damn thing, and so obviously summon some demons and everything goes crazy. I would say it's made by a New Zealand production company starring New Zealand actors and actresses, and it completely is just Dead Alive by Peter Jackson. The Peter Jackson, right before he made Lord of the Rings, he made a movie called Dead Alive, and I think the climax of it literally is in the Guinness Book of World Records for having the most fake blood in any movie ever. It's amazing. And so it completely takes, like, every single like kill is completely over the top and completely unnecessary, but it's all amazing because it's not like, it's graphic, but it's not like hostile graphic. Like, it's not torture porn graphic. Like, it's not supposed to look real. It looks ridiculous. There's just a lot of blood going everywhere. Very funny, very enjoyable. Totally would watch it again.
Cool.
Plus, the whole thing's like underscored by, or not underscored, but scored with like these classic heavy metal tracks that I myself am very into. So it's cool hearing these songs.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, of course, I'm super excited to have you on.
Thank you.
I feel like you guys are some of my two favorite people. My name is Warren. I will be your host for this evening. The only thing that I actually had watched, and I think it was pretty awesome that I watched it before watching Transformers, and I'm going to get into that a little bit later, was the Fate of the Furious, the newest installment of the Fast and Furious number 8 movie. I mean, this movie was pretty good. It was enjoyable. I mean, Kurt Russell does his thing. He's super hams it a bunch up, and don't really care too much about like anything else of this movie. I mean, it's interesting. I like The Rock. Oh, sorry, I do care. I like The Rock, and I like Jason Statham in the movie. And I think it's just like a nice, fun. Like, now that I don't feel like they're taking themselves seriously anymore, that you just have a lot of fun with this movie, but. I mean, you don't have to go watch the movie to kind of get what's actually happening. But at least if you've seen the other 7, you may as well just keep going, in my case. If I do have to give a quick grade this movie, I'd probably do like a C+. Like, nothing fancy. People are probably going to grade it much higher, but there was too many things that I just had just terrible dialogue. I mean, the villain was just awful. Just a lot of things that they could have easily made this movie better, especially just not taking themselves seriously. I think that would have been like pretty cool. And right now I am sipping on some Harpoon Wanamango. It's delicious. I think we review this beer pretty often, pretty frequently. One of my favorite sort of summer beers, definitely of the summer season. It's definitely refreshing, a little bit of bite, and one of the very, very rare sort of IPAs or pale ales, very, very mild, that I actually like. So I'm super excited about that. I'm super excited to see both you beautiful faces. You know, I'm super excited to say that if you haven't seen Transformers The Last Night, you may want to stop it here because we will be spoiling the movie and we will be sharing a lot of the thoughts. So you probably want to come back in about maybe 10 seconds or so, and then we'll be returning with our entire in-depth review of Transformers 5 The Last Night. See you soon. Here we'll be talking about the Transformers The Last Night. You know, I'm super pumped because I'm going to flat out say that this was a bad movie. And I'm pumped to talk about some of the criticisms because I don't really like you should never pull your phone out even when in the movie theater. But A, I was practically the only person in this theater. And B, I just could not let some of these criticisms go away, so I made a huge list. Before we get into those criticisms, though, I do want to focus on, there's some positives. Not every movie is awful and terrible and gets a 0. You've done some stuff because you signed your name at the top. So, Brylan, what would you say is your biggest sort of win of this movie?
I would say overall, my biggest win is the human actors seem to have a lot of fun with the characters they were given. Especially Mark Wahlberg. This is the second Transformers movie he's been in. And he's definitely a notch above Shia LaBeouf's character in the previous 3 Transformer movies. He just definitely seems to enjoy who he's playing a lot more. Mm-hmm. And my big shout out would be to Anthony Hopkins. He seemed to just take a day off from filming Westworld and walk onto a set and just ham it up with exposition and try to make some sense out of this movie. And it's maybe the only time you'll ever hear him say punk ass bitch. So
yeah.
That's always a cool thing.
That was definitely a first in his career.
Definitely one of the best
moments. Does he know what those words mean?
He may not.
He might not.
He makes them sound good.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
But also say, another good win for it is they introduced a new Transformer called Cogman, who's he's kind of like the assistant to Anthony Hopkins' character. And he's played by the voice of Jim Clark, who was the butler, Mr. Carson, on Downton Abbey. And so it's very fitting that he's playing a kind of a butler character here. But he probably gets the best moments in this movie.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would definitely say I'm going to lead into that is, really the biggest only win that I do have is Cogman's character. They even talked about he's a psychopath/sociopath. He's a Transformer that has a bit of a personality issue maybe going on. And they talk about it to the point where him jumping across the screen and maybe want to choke out Jaeger, Mark Wahlberg's character, for some strange reason, or he just beats the hell out of Fish for some also strange reason. Who knows these things? I was thoroughly enjoyed by this character this entire time, him on the screen, and I think one of the best moments in the movie was when, again, Anthony Hopkins has this huge exposition dump, and he's Cogman's just really hamming up the orchestra and singing in the background and just really breaking the moment and trying to make it seem as if it's not as funny, it's not as serious. There we go. So I thought that was a very
scene where he's playing the organ.
Yeah,
that was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, I didn't say orchestra, organ.
Yeah.
So
he was singing too, with the woman's voice.
So fun. That was a fun moment. That was a moment in which I'm like, oh man, I wish that more of this movie was like that moment because there are good things in this movie. Mike?
Yeah, that was absolutely hilarious. Now that I'm thinking about it, I've had a day or two to reflect on this movie. Cogman was pretty much just what is his name? Niles Crane from Hellboy. You know the actor that plays Niles Crane?
Oh, Abe Sapien.
Yeah. He was Abe Sapien from Hellboy.
I can see that.
He was just this quirky little robot thing that was kind of weird and kind of British. I still thought he was fun. He's by far the best character in this movie.
Yes.
I would expand. I liked how they went and kind of went with the whole Witwicky name and Witwicken. That was kind of a cool way. I'll give a disclaimer. I haven't seen Transformers 2 through 4, so I don't know if they touched on this in any other movie, but
yes.
I thought it was cool to tie it back to a star that clearly left on weird terms. Yeah. Clearly they thought they would have a franchise star, and then that just didn't work out for him.
Yeah. I mean, in the previous movies, they just talked about his name, and his name was Sam Witwicky. That was it.
Right.
I mean, they said Witwicky a lot, and people made a lot of jokes they couldn't pronounce it. It got really old after 3 movies, but that was like the biggest thing.
But yeah, they came in and said like, oh, cool, this is like the descendants of, not Merlin. No, Merlin, yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it was.
No, so like the descendants of Merlin. Oh wait,
yeah, because it was the girl.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so it was so like randomly, even though he was still alive, right? Or did he die? They said she was the last Witwiccan, so I don't know. Yeah. That part didn't make any sense. But I did.
You're gonna hear that a lot.
But I did like how they brought it back and even showed a little picture of him sitting on the mantle there. There was CGI in this. Not all of it looked terrible. Hang on. I got some athletic, like competition coming up later, so I gotta get a good stretch in right now. So the CGI wasn't all terrible. Honestly, besides those 2 things, the best thing about this was I listened to a new Rebecca Black single. It was alright. She's had better songs, not including Friday. She honestly has, she turned her life around. I'll soapbox, because this is probably going to be the big section of our wins right now, is the fact that this young lady went over, and all the, tens of people that listen to this podcast, truthfully, check it out. She took Friday and started a YouTube channel and basically made it like hey, I've had the entire world making fun of me, and this is how I dealt with it, and this is how other young people can deal with the problems that they're going through, because in the end, it's not that big of a deal. I made a terrible song when I was 14, I'm older now, and this is how I worked through it. And she still sings, and truthfully, it's like pretty decent pop music. It's never, because of the name, because of the marketing behind it, my guess is she'll never have like a charting hit.
Yeah.
Because it's you can't market Rebecca Black, because everyone's like, oh yeah, the Friday Girl, not listening to that. But it's pretty solid stuff. And I mean, the girl can actually sing, it sounds like. Either that or whoever did the auto-tune on her, or Melodyne, is remarkably better.
Yeah.
I would check it out. Good stuff.
Cool.
What are we talking about again? Transformers? Yeah, back to Transformers. Yeah.
Just a small digress. But,
yeah.
So, I mean, we went through some of our wins, which was very, very short. And let's get in to talk about some of the criticisms here. I know I have a list. I'm going to go down my list of exactly a checklist of what was happening in this movie. I think Brylan's going to start us off because he has a pretty good sort of first approach. And then me and Mike are going to go finish it off. So, Brylan?
Yeah, I mean, it just boils down to what the fuck was this movie about, seriously? I mean, there's just random ass scenes happening every single moment. You have a dragon, you're in the middle of medieval ages, Megatron just comes out of the blue and is like, hey humans, give me my boys. And they just say, okay, sure, why not?
Yeah.
And then there's Quintessa, and she's in it for all of 2 scenes. She's supposed to be the main bad guy. And it's just a clusterfuck of just scene after scene. Even the action doesn't seem to make any damn sense at all. And Optimus Prime is, I don't know, he's got a big-ass chip on his shoulder now, so he's not really a good person. He's just an asshole, for the most part.
He gets brainwashed for about 3 seconds.
No, he gets brainwashed for the entire movie.
He gets brainwashed for the entire movie, but it doesn't actually pay off. No. He's brainwashed meeting other people for 4 seconds, and then they're like, you're a good person. Prime's just like, I'm a good person. They're like, we should go beat the bad guys. Prime's like, yeah, let's go beat the bad guys. Follow me!
Yeah.
What?
Somehow Bumblebee got his voice box back? Question mark? Because we're not sure how?
We don't.
No.
I mean, I think some of the worst things about this is the movie, kind of wants to start off in a good place. You meet this young girl and a group of kids that she stumbles on, and she's kind of it's a different era. There's this militarized force that hunts down Transformers. There's people living in blown up Chicago, and they're just kind of helping the Transformers either hide or they're just trying to survive in these war-torn areas. And she comes off as a badass, and then you don't see her in the movie in any substantial way until the very end, and she's really not that big of an impact. It's like a big middle finger to the audience.
Yeah.
With who this character is.
I need to go back and watch these trailers to see if she's in these trailers.
Oh, she's
a lot.
she's
all over.
Yeah.
Gosh.
She just and then she just disappears for like the middle hour of the movie.
At least it's better than the kids in the beginning who disappear for the entire.
Well, no, but they were fine. Those kids were clearly just like a set up how cool and badass she is, and like literally her return doesn't make a difference.
No,
at all.
It doesn't at all.
There's nothing about her being in that movie that works.
I mean, I agree. You're absolutely correct.
And I usually don't.
That first scene and her friendship with Canopy is good, and then after that, after Canopy dies, there's nothing. It's just like, what am I here for? I don't know.
Oh, this is a good scene. Oh shit! Oh no,
it's like she almost could have been like the group of little kids to Yeager. But they already introduced Yeager in the last movie, so like we knew who his character was. So you don't need an introduction scene.
Yeah.
My brain's hurting. Trying to like rationalize that.
If she was chosen as the last night and it was flipped between her role and Yeager role and
Yeager wasn't the last night, it was the chick.
No. Yeager was the last night. The chick was a descendant.
Oh yeah. But the mythology was all over the. It's like why do we need the last night if we have Merlin over here? But like apparently Merlin's not good enough for. Yeah, bro. Sorry.
Yeah. Rylan, anything else?
I mean, this movie is almost 3 hours long. And each act is more exhausting after another. And it's not in a good way either. Like, I actually felt like I was having tension headaches coming out of this movie.
Yeah.
Just because every single act felt longer and longer, and it's just, you're seeing shit on the screen, but none of it is coherent enough to be compelling at all. It's just, random ass explosions, and you see pieces of metal being flown about and everything. Apparently Bumblebee's immortal now. I mean, he can be pulled apart and then come back together, and it's no big deal.
Where did that come from?
He's the strongest Transformer ever now.
Yeah. He also doesn't get hurt, which is weird.
He doesn't get hurt at all. No. And what surprises me the most about what makes this movie bad is that it feels like just anybody that was behind making this movie just felt like they didn't give a shit. And in the past, like the worst Transformers movie, which is Revenge of the Fallen, there's some things like, it's got some blatant racism, some awful stereotypes in its Transformers. You got a big Transformer with clanging balls walking by. But in this movie, it's more just like that action that they built up and making things look amazing and over the top it just feels boring and lifeless, and there's nothing compelling at all about this movie. And the biggest sin of all is that they bring back a Transformer disguised as a human being, which I think is just the biggest cardinal sin that any Transformer can have. So that's always totally unacceptable as well.
And they did it already, and it didn't work. They did something that didn't work, so they're going to redo it again. Not to the same degree, but still.
But this time, it goes back to that scene in Arrested Development where Tobias is giving this long monologue about how, an open marriage never works for any sort of relationship ever. And, like, everyone who tries it inevitably ends up getting divorced. But this one time, me and you, Lindsay, should try. It's the entire movie was like, my God, this doesn't work. You've tried it before, it failed, and now why are we here again?
But once again, I have seen all these movies in the theater, so I don't know why I'm here. I don't know why I put myself.
What did we say in pre-pro? It was like, out of the 5 movies, I think they have 2 in the top 15 highest grossing films of all time.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. They're printing money.
somebody loves them somewhere.
Clearly. I mean, definitely, probably overseas. But, I mean, going into my particular kind of criticisms, I'm literally just going to read off my list, and I have a couple other sort of things to add. What the fuck did I just watch? Is my first question. I had to make a list of some of the dumb shit that happened in this movie, so bear with me. Y'all want to see some dead robots? The fact that, you know what, I'm just going to leave that line there, because it was that, and that movie, the movie opened up with this line, so I'm like, are you trying to, what? Who are you? I'm not entirely sure. As much as I love this guy as an actor, Stanley Tucci, come on. The fact that you're a drunken Merlin dude, and you were just in the fourth movie as a completely different character, definitely means that somebody did not read the script there, or no one gave a shit, because
how can you leave that? How can you? When I want to think back to other like film series, I think Marvel has had 2 actors or actresses that have played other bigger speaking roles, and I guarantee, I don't think either of you two can name those 2 characters right now.
Yeah. Chris Evans.
No, the Fantastic Four doesn't count.
Okay. Well, that should, though.
No, so there's 2 characters, and I'll give it to you because it's absurd. They had, Maria Dillard from Luke Cage. Mm-hmm. She was, or Mariah.
Right. I was like,
yeah. So she played the lady in Civil War that's like, my son's dead. That's the same actress.
Okay.
And then the other one is even more obscure. The secondary main character from Agent Carter is a police officer with 1 line in Avengers.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, you're telling me that after 14 movies, 4 like episodic TV shows, 4 seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and then 2 seasons of Agent Carter, and you're gonna get 2 major like crossovers that no one could name anyways. Get out of here if you're having Stanley Tucci play in consecutive movies 2 separate characters. Like, come on! All it takes is one casting agent to be like, yeah, I think he was in the last one. Maybe we should rethink this.
Maybe we should watch the movie.
But Michael Bay just comes in and just like lights off an M80 and it's just like 4th of July, mofos.
I mean, as long as there was a and I'm surprised Brylan mentioned this when we chatted before of as long as he brings a dragon who doesn't breathe fire, guys, that dragon just rolls around. That dragon straight rolls around on people to try to kill people. Very strange you don't use your fire, but you know what? I'm not gonna judge you. Really? Another King Arthur movie? Come on now, we're good. 13 minutes in, I already wanted to. I literally looked at my watch and was like, I cannot believe this movie is almost 3 hours. Not feeling okay with that. But a possibility for a Westworld crossover. It was almost there. It basically could have been there. Seriously, can you get someone else to look like Megan Fox?
I thought I read an article. Apparently, I didn't because this wasn't true. I thought I read an article saying that Megan Fox was like finally coming back, and for the first like 20 minutes that character was in the. I was like, Megan Fox looks completely different.
Yeah, she's British now. Scottish.
Yeah. I was like again. Well, but Stanley Tucci being in this was like, okay, maybe they just don't care about continuity at all.
Yeah.
And it wasn't Megan Fox.
Nope. But it looked exactly.
Like it.
Very strange. Very strange. So I think we should play a drinking game probably in this opening, maybe 15, 30 minutes of it. Every time that you hear the word dragons, you should probably take a shot. Because I'm pretty sure you'll probably be dead.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna
it's a good way to kill our audience base.
Oh, absolutely. But do it. And then tweet me and let me know. I'm going to call it now that Transformers and Fast and Furious is going to have a crossover. It's going to be awesome. Because it's all about family. Seriously, was Squeak supposed to be Wally? Because I was pretty upset with that. Cause
I got the BB-8 feel from it.
I mean, more BB-8, especially with Rey, and they have that one. They have like a lot of Star Wars fans. They even called out C-3PO as being Codman.
Yeah.
Which is very strange. The Suicide Squad intro.
Got more film time than his owner or his friend.
Yeah, it doesn't make any damn sense. The Suicide Squad intro. Out of all the movies to try to replicate, that was probably not a good one.
That was like 3/4 of the way through the movie.
Yeah.
Like, just out of nowhere.
First of all, who are these random ass Decepticons? They are not real. Last time I checked. And you're now introducing them in the 5th movie in? Where were they the first 4 movies? Who knows? I'm just going to keep on going. It's weird when they try to use deception on a particular higher performing being called the Decepticons. Pretty sure that plan is not going to work out. Going back and like fast forward into Anthony Hopkins' hotel, the random people that were cleaning, that was very strange. I'm not sure about that. Not sure why they waited until 5 movies in to make a universe of these stories of tying them all together. But what can you say? Don't think I did not catch the fact that Jonathan Turturro.
Yeah.
John Turturro.
John Turturro was FaceTiming a rotary phone to Anthony Hopkins. I caught that. It was pretty bad. You should at least use some sort of transformer because you're in Cuba. You know what? I'm not even going to go there, how much racism that was there, but we just going to leave that for right now. How many times does the pyramid have to be destroyed? I understand that it was a callback to an old movie, but
it's like the easiest thing. It's one of the 7 natural...
Yeah.
7. Well, but it's like even older. It's like the 7 natural wonders of the world. The only one left standing is the pyramids. It's like, I guess we'll destroy that.
Yeah.
Show we're really giving it to humanity.
I mean, poor Chicago. They'll never have a chance to rebuild. just lame.
I mean, give it credit for like actually keeping the destruction from the last movie. So Chicago's not rebuilt from the ground up.
Why is the quote-unquote head scientist that was a scientist of no name? I think we distinguished that he didn't actually have a name in the movie, given a speech about Jiffy Pop to a bunch of room full of scientists. That was weird. I think they all get the analogy of what's going to happen to the Earth, but all right. They have some great cardio in this movie, because man can they run. And every scene that they were full out sprinting, I'm like, my goodness, how long did it take them to do those takes? And then the last thing I have is that slingshot, though, at the end...
Oh my god! I was literally laughing out loud in the theaters when that happened.
I sat there as like, that is the worst. Why? And it was all just terribly CG'd. It was just so bad.
Yeah.
I guess my last thing is, guys, what does this Merlin's staff, what did that do?
It controlled the dragon.
No, it didn't, though.
Well, at the beginning, it controlled the dragons.
Yes, you're onto something.
But then at the end, you didn't really need it to control the dragons.
Yeah, because they didn't have the staff.
It also stopped Cybertron from destroying Earth. Something.
but did it though?
Yeah, because they knocked it out. I don't know.
They took it out, but then Optimus took it. Yeah, my brain.
See, this would be an optimal.
It only works whenever someone that's related to Merlin holds it. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but also Quintessa could just use it too.
Yeah.
I guess she designed it. Yeah. That makes sense.
The mother of Cybertron or something.
Is she actually the mother of Cybertron?
Is she the actual creator, or is she just the
bad I think she was the creator. They were saying that.
Well, they said it, but
I feel like this. So I know we're starting the whole YouTube thing for like going in on it for this one. I feel like we needed more though. Because the amount of shocked, stupid faces that the 3 of us have been giving to each other has been absolutely priceless. Like, one person is just like, yeah, but what about, like, the staff? And then you see everyone else trying to rationalize it. You think this would get knocked out, like, day 2 in a production meeting.
But Well, I guess nobody asked that question.
No one asked any questions.
But they focus so much on the voice box that he has a voice that's a woman that he doesn't really like, so he throws it away and then magically gets his voice box back. That voice box really upsets me because that, I think, honestly, was the only thing that tied all these movies together. Was the fact that he damaged his voice box. That was from the first movie. He had to learn how to talk through a car radio and really weird things. To now he finally gets his actual voice back. But we have no idea how he got it back. So then it just doesn't make it. It like literally just shits on all the rest of the movies.
Joke.
Mike, criticism?
Yeah, I mean, so they took a movie that was basically robots punching other robots and made it, like, let's say less than desirable. How do you mess that up? How do you mess that up? You don't have to have a plot. You don't have to have a good characters. The CGI can be adequate. All I have to do is just not hate all those things and then let robots punching robots take over.
Yes.
Also, why was it nearly 2 hours long? 3 hours long?
Yeah,
it was like there's no need for that. I remember checking my phone and being like, wow, when is this movie over?
They didn't need anything to do with a title card that says The Dark Ages. Cut all that out.
Oh, yeah.
We don't need to see Merlin. We can get that information from you just progressing and starting the story with the Isabella character, I believe. Or if the...
You don't need Isabella.
Yeah.
You don't.
Even
just
with a slightly
her.
Jennifer Lopez. But, like, start there. Reveal that, the big reveal of this movie was... the last night actually has to do with Knights of the Round Table. And this is the descendant of Merlin. Oh my gosh, that's way more interesting.
Well, there's as soon as you said that, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But at the same point, it's like, well, but they never built on that in any of the other movies, so that it'd be an out-of-the-blue connection. But at the same time, who cares? Because none of the rest of the movie made any sense.
But at least they did mention, like, the man on the moon, like the landing of the on the moon itself. There was big things in each one of those probably not the first one, but there was like a couple of things in the movie. Like they did the moon landing, they did the pyramids, they did the ancient times with like dinosaurs and stuff, and then they did one movie I can't remember what else happened.
Yeah.
So they are at least talking about historical things that happened in history, kind of like stretching it out a bit.
Historical things that happened in history.
Right. Write that down, bro. So I mean.
Yeah.
It's not unheard of to make this movie like almost a kind of a mystery movie of we're trying to figure out and like solve the mystery of what's the connection between this random thing that comes down out of the sky and like die. First of all, this Transformer who crashes his ship, who's supposed to be one of the guardians of the relic. Why aren't you in the tomb under? Yeah, why aren't you down there too? Where?
I don't know where that one came from, at all.
Also, did Optimus get hurt in this movie?
No.
I don't know.
He caught the most amount of damage like any other Transformer, and yet this dude did not get hurt at all.
They fucked up Optimus Prime in this movie. Like,
well, mentally.
I mean, if there was one thing that was like a saving grace of the first three films, just like you had Peter Cullen, original voice of Optimus Prime, being Optimus Prime, and he had a lot of dialogue, which was those Optimus Prime moments, saying Autobots roll out and being a leader.
Roll out.
I don't think they said that.
About, the value of life is more than just the Transformers and humans, it's everybody. And in the fourth movie, he kind of has a chip on his shoulder and is kind of not trusting humans anymore, which they kind of build up a good thing is because they have this secret agency hunting down Transformers. So yeah, don't trust humans, but humans have to win back that trust of the Transformers. And in this movie, it's just like, all right, I flew out to outer space, and then I got frozen somehow and can't move, and then I got caught by this weird lady Transformer that brainwashed me in 3 seconds, and then I come back, try to kill everybody, but now it turned out I'm good. And I'll say something nice at the end, and that's it. I was like, why waste the original voice actor of Optimus Prime like that?
It doesn't make sense.
The timeline was all screwy. Didn't they like try and avoid saying Autobots roll out? But like that works in Avengers 1 and Age of Ultron. Again, go back to other big running like series when like because they have never said Avengers Assemble, but you've already said Autobots roll out. Like there's no reason to avoid saying that. There's no
unless that saying is trademarked, because truthfully, only one person has been saying it.
Yeah.
So
who said it?
Well, is Optimus a different voice this movie?
No. It's
same guy?
Same person, same character. It doesn't matter who voiced it.
Guys, I'm trying to put some logic in here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Alright, so...
There's absolutely no logic to this movie. Like, in Age of Extinction, you have the Galvatron version of Megatron, which actually transforms by these polygon cubes and shit.
Stop it.
And now in this movie, he's back to Megatron from the first movie.
Hey, stop it. Don't do that. The fourth movie didn't count apparently, so we just skipped. We just skipped a couple movies here.
So speaking of just like other things, like dude, the tone switched. You alluded to this earlier with like the Suicide Squad intro, but like they literally went from like a young teenager movie with a cool teenage character to like a war movie to at the end it was like an alien invasion type movie. Like it was all they had tropes from all these types of movies in like half-hour chunks somehow, and they were able to do this because they had 4 million characters. That the only one that I can remember their name for, besides like the main 2 characters, was General Moshower. Who? That's literally his name. That's literally the actor. It's like oh cool. Meet General Brad Pitt. It's like. And then it's just Brad Pitt. Like, give me a break.
I'm also gonna in that general has also died in the previous films.
Yeah, and they just brought him back with no.
And they just brought him back. No one gave a shit.
Other generals as well.
So, like, also I don't know. I just thought. It just didn't know where it wanted to go. There was like a bunch of at the end then that like the alien invasion part that I was talking about, but like there was like these weird, oddly motivational like you can do it type lines, but it just didn't work. Like just cut the motivational bullshit. It doesn't matter. Dude, just punch another robot. I don't care. Like I'm not watching Transformers 5 to get like a life lesson. Which, granted, I watched Transformers, the animated series, and at the end of every episode, they had life lessons.
Yeah.
But you know what? I didn't waste 3 hours of my life watching one little thing just to get, like, you should be nice to your friends. Maybe share your toys sometime. Also, what the fuck did I just watch?
Yeah, seriously. They also introduced Hot Rod in this movie, so I'm wondering if they introduce Rodimus Prime in the next movie, I'll probably still watch it.
I like that you're like, you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb and say, I am definitely watching the next movie in theaters. I'll be the first one there. And I'm probably, guys, it could win the next Oscar.
Suicide Squad won, so, we have no idea.
Lasting thoughts and grades?
I'm going to give it an F+. It only gets a plus.
Ooh.
Because it's like one hair above what Transformers Revenge of the Fallen was.
Fair. But
it's still just an abominable mess.
You know, I'm going to give this movie a D-. And the reason why is this is a training movie to look at this movie and said, hey, don't do this in this movie. Whether it's characters, whether it's dialogue, whether it's tone, whatever you need to do as upcoming young filmmakers, or even older filmmakers for that matter, watch this movie and say, oh, okay, I see that somebody did this. This is how it doesn't work. So it can be used as a learning opportunity. But don't go watch this movie. Don't wait. Go. If it's free, go on there. If you have like a coupon for this movie, feel free. Take some money out. Take a coup. You'd be good. But other than that, don't pay for this movie.
I would disagree with that. Okay. So I give it an F. I was like vaguely thinking about passing it, and then I was like, no, because out of Wonder Woman, which I thoroughly enjoyed, and then we're going to do Baby Driver, which is getting good reviews, and Spider-Man, which is coming up, which is also getting good reviews.
Yes.
And I have like a suspicion we might enjoy those movies. I wanted to make those grades look better by results. And so I was like, nope, I have to fail this movie. This was an awful, awful movie that was way too long.
Sure.
I didn't almost realize that it was unanimous, which you changed your grade.
I did.
I looked down and saw all Fs, and I was like, oh, cool. I guess I was just with the crowd on this one.
I may have to redact my grade and then give it an F, because I also this movie deserves an F. I was trying to be hopeful. I was trying to be the last knight.
It's not like a redeeming characteristic to be like a cautionary tale. I think that The Room is a cautionary tale, but it's like one of my favorite movies.
Sure,
it's literally like one of the Paranormal Activity is still the absolute worst made movie I've ever seen in my entire life. But it's still somehow The Room was like, it just had that charm to it. That's just like.
I would judge this fairly and also give this an F. I'm sorry. Not sorry. Brylan, where can you find more of your work?
You can find me doxing Michael Bay on Twitter at Brylan, BRILUND. Because we should all let him know what we think of his movies.
Yes, we should. So, Brylan, always a pleasure. Thanks for having me. I'm super, super excited for our next couple reviews. We're doing Baby Driver and Spider-Man, so stay tuned for that, and I'm really excited to have your voice on that one.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course. Mr. Shredder, where can you find more of your work?
So, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, MySpace, Yahoo Answers, Bandcamp, SoundCloud, LiveJournal, under My News Music or My News Band. It's kind of like a half and half mixture of both.
Cool. I heard you guys have a new email.
We do. It's Jesse likes playing with shiny toys.
Okay.
It's not a great email, but it's an email that I can think of right now. And my brain is so hurt. Like, I don't think that... So I'll let you in on a little secret. These emails don't actually exist.
Oh, okay.
Spoiler alert. I don't know how many people are trying to email Jesse Rand's Love Dungeon. But that one, I never made that. And I'd like to. If anyone can submit potentially ones that we've done in the past so I don't have to listen to our episodes again.
Especially not this one, that'd be great.
Yeah. So
Outlook is going to be a great resource for that.
Yeah, it's just, just finding, and then just email us the list, because, I will make those, and then I will personally email you back from every single one of them. But Jesse Rand doesn't like this movie at 163.com. Yeah. That's what I'm going with.
Alright.
Because it's backed by China. I like that.
China. Actually, this movie's probably making a decent amount of money in China, but whatever.
Probably.
I looked it up, and it's almost made worldwide almost $500 million.
Yeah.
But it's not doing well.
But yeah, that's about a third of what the other ones made.
Yeah.
Like the big ones. About half of them. But.
And with that, we shall say goodnight. Thank you so much. Please feel free to find us. A lot of our work is going to be online, on the internet, on the interwebs, on all the places where you browse as much as possible. So we're on Facebook, facebook.com/DIFP. That's Down in Front Podcast spelled out. So definitely there. We have an email, downandfrontpodcast@gmail.com. We have a YouTube link that we're going to be putting in the show notes, so go ahead and subscribe. We're going to have a bunch of different video teasers as well as live recordings, and we're going to really try to see if we can do our first ever mass video recording for an upcoming review of Spider-Man. So stay tuned for that, because that is going to be bananas. See what I did there, guys? And then the last one you can necessarily find us on is we have Twitter, so @_DFP, that's @_down-in-front podcast. If you don't have an iOS device, we are on Stitcher. We're all on any of the kind of the major platforms, so feel free to go hang out with us. Treat your ear holes for some beautiful, beautiful, luxurious sounds from the one and only Brylan. But maybe not this episode, because it wasn't a very good movie. But with that, we will say good night, goodbye, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.